Hello, fellow pickers. My name is Mike Croft, and I'm coming to you from the Redwoods of Northern California.
And my name is Carl Mandrilli, coming to you from Castle Rock, Colorado.
Carl, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm excellent, man. So we had a little hiatus a few weeks ago, and now we're starting to stream together again. So we're back. You can rely on us, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. We're totally reliable, barring any sicknesses and natural disasters.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Good deal.
Yep.
So yeah, before we jump in though, I have something fresh in my mind. I just need to share with you to make you feel better about yourself.
Great. All right, hit me with it. What you got?
I went out of town last weekend and I was just scrambling to get everything together. And while I'm packing, what?
You came to California, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Nice. So plane tickets, I don't know, bringing all sorts of gear with me, but I also had like listings up. And so I sold a couple things in the process of trying to pack and do this and do that. And so I made a mistake with 2 items I sold.
Did you swap the labels?
I did swap the labels. I swapped the label. I haven't done that I think I've done that only one time in all the things I've sold. And it wasn't even something where it was like easy to swap. It wasn't like they were both first class mail. It was one was priority, one was first class. So they should have been swapped. And really they shouldn't have sent because one was too heavy for first class and they still sent it even though it had the wrong label on it. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Yeah. So yeah.
What'd you do? Did you get a hold of the buyers?
Yeah. One guy was like in my home state and he was like trying to figure out how to drive down. I was like, dude, you don't understand. What you want is in somebody else's hands. I have to wait till I get it back. And so one item wasn't really worth my time. So I just refunded the money and was like, you just keep the item, throw it away, donate it, whatever you want to do. The other one I'm having them send back to me, but that could take a long time. So
yeah,
whatever.
Just the awkward conversation now. I would ask for that stuff back too. Or,
yeah.
Hey, I screwed up.
And the items that got swapped were pretty diverse. So one guy, it was like running shoes was one guy. And the other guy was a baby monitor. So I don't think they wanted each other's items. Just saying.
Were they Hokas? Onos? How do you say that?
One. Yeah. Ones.
One.
They weren't. Yeah. They were Saucony Kinvara shoes that didn't work out for me. So
Saucony, isn't that a fish?
Probably.
You're selling fish.
Sockeye salmon.
Oh, it's a sockeye.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
enough about my issues, enough about my personal issues. I want to come clean. I'm not perfect, Mike. Stop accusing me of always getting it right because I mess things up all the time. And as we're gonna find out, like we have an interview today, and I'm learning stuff that I probably should have already known during the interview. So who do we have? What's going on?
Today we had the pleasure of having on a Minnesotan. He is from Odd Flip That on YouTube, and him and his wife do this crazy thing. It's called the challenge bingo. What is it called? Goodwill bin challenge bingo.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I was watching a few of their videos last night prepping for the episode, man. It looked really funny.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah. I'm excited to have him on.
Okay. I'm excited too. Let's get to it, man.
Hi there, fellow pickers. Today we have a Minnesotan on that loves to treasure hunt for bargains at thrift stores, garage sales, and flip them for a profit. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, short notice.
It was short notice.
Yes, it
was. Speaking of notice, I actually, before we jump in, I have a banned topic list for this episode as well. So This is for Mike.
Come on.
Okay, so I like we're not going to talk about are you on team free shipping or calculated shipping? All right, this is something that Mike's super excited about, and
it's important to talk about. Come on,
yeah. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not as engaging as I bet what Joe has to offer. So ban topic, too late.
All right, ban topic, understood.
All right,
check. All right, what else you got? What else is banned?
That's it. That's the only one. That's the only one. I got one.
That's the only one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe, your handle is I'd flip that. So we're kind of interested in how you came up with that name. Carl wants to know if it was somebody trying to throw something away and you looked at it and you said, I'd flip that.
That's kind of how so for years I'd been thinking about doing a YouTube channel, and then finally my wife stepped in. She goes, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right, and we're going to do this good, and I'm going to be involved because I know you're going to screw it up and maybe sound terrible or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And then we're like, okay, well, what name do we want to go by? Because, you know, that's our brand name and stuff like that. So I don't even remember all the things that we did. And then finally she's like, well, what about I'd flip that? Like, oh, I'd flip that, you know, kind of a thing. And it was like, okay, yeah, that's, you know. And then when we were in Vegas for the Reseller Remix, people would be like, oh, I'd flip that, you know, kind of a thing. So that's what we went with.
Okay. So it wasn't water bottles back in the day when you had like the water bottle flipping contest. Unrelated.
No, unrelated. No.
Water bottles, really?
I have a t-shirt. I see like years ago, kids were just like every day flipping the water bottles on the desk. And I was like, stop it. Just stop it.
That's some real talent.
Yeah. It is, if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
No, it's a brand name is very important, especially with reselling. It's catchy. It's something that somebody pays attention to. Yeah. Perfect. So how about, can you tell me what your best score is from reselling? What'd you find?
Oh, wow. So it's more of a big, huge buy that I picked up.
Sure.
I noticed 2 summers ago, somebody was having an estate sale a good hour and a half south of me. And I was showing my wife, I go, look at this. They have like 4 or 5 tables full of these Marvel DC statues at, you know, 12 inches, 6 inches high, whatever. There's at least 60, 70 of them.
Wow.
I go, I'm going to message and just see what they would do for all of them. Because I looked up some of them because they had a lot of good detailed pictures.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, some of these are like $100, $150 each.
Wow.
You know? And so I messaged them and they're like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we would sell all of them. And I go, all right, what are you thinking for all of them? And they're like, oh, we're looking at probably $1,200.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money. Then I asked how much they had, and they go, we have at least 60, maybe 70, 80 items or something. So I'm like, okay, figuring out the math. And I'm like, all right, that's about $14 an item or something around there. And I'm like, okay, if I'm selling how many of them for $100 to $200 or, you know, $150, this is going to add up.
Right.
So I'm telling Nicole about it. And she's like, I don't know. And like 2 months later, we were going to Vegas for our 25th wedding anniversary. And she's like, where are you going to come up with that money? And I'm like, well, we have this money set aside, you know, or whatever.
Our anniversary money?
Yeah.
Right,
Just use our anniversary money.
Yeah, right. You know, that's all. So she's like, I don't know about this. So I talked to the person too. I go, I want to show up the day before because I don't want to be fighting over these things when you guys open on Thursday.
Right. Exactly.
And I come Wednesday and buy this if I want to. And they're like, yep. So I showed up. This guy, their dad passed away, and he had so much stuff besides that, like cars and trains and everything else. Like, I'm like, okay, I didn't bring any more money. I would have bought so much more things. But
yeah.
And I talked to the people and I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get these. And
wait. Did you negotiate? Were you like 1,200?
I tried.
It is. Okay.
I tried. And they're like, it's 1,200 or don't
take it or leave it.
He goes, trust me. We have 4 other people asking about this as well.
Okay.
A lot. So you got in before everybody else. We're going to deal with you if you want them. If you don't, I can message somebody else and they'll probably be here in a half an hour.
Right.
All right, here's your $1,200. They helped load my car. The front seat, back seat, trunk was just packed. On my
packed
way
with
home,
DC statues.
Oh yeah, so many good ones. I mean,
that would have been funny to see.
Well, and like this guy, he went to so many like Comic Cons and stuff like that he picked up like one-off comics that these guys just created as just kind of a sample thing that I still haven't even looked up to see if they're worth anything yet. I haven't done any of the comics yet.
Okay.
But I think I have 2 statues left out of the, 45, 50 of them that were there.
Okay.
So on my way home, Nicole calls me and she's like, what are you doing? I'm on my way home from all those things, the statue, the Marvel things. And she's like, did you buy them? And I'm like, my car is full. She's like, I thought we were going to, I told you, I need to at least go down there and take a look and see if it's worth buying. And I wasn't going to turn around. So we did a big video about that. And then, after we're going through all these things, all of a sudden she looks at this one model, still sealed. It's a police officer called Captain Action. And it's like, you know, like build a model like a car, but it was like build a police guy who's supposed to be a superhero from like in the 60s. So she's like, oh, this is so weird. And I'm like, what? She goes, there's none listed. And I'm like, that's good, you know? And she goes, and there's one sold for $400. And I'm like, that's even better.
Yeah.
I go, this thing's probably worth $400 alone. I mean, that's paying for a third of what I just paid for all of these models.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, we do a video, and at first, you know, she's like, oh, look at this crazy crap that Joe bought home, you know, and then and we talk about this stuff. And then, you know, as we keep selling more things, you know, she's like, I knew it was a great idea for you guys to pick this up. You know, that's how our videos go.
That's hilarious.
She criticizes everything,
yeah,
and then takes the credit for when the stuff sells because she knew it was going to be a good thing.
That should fade over time, though, because I feel like early on when I first started the whole picking process, like my wife was very skeptical of some of the things that I was like, I'm pretty sure I know that this is going to resell. And she's like, really? And I wasn't putting in $1,200. And, you know, I was putting in like under $100. But then after like a few times of successes, like she stopped asking. She's like, you know, whatever you think.
She's to the point now where she's just like, okay, you know, I just picked up a Mickey Mouse from the 40s at a Goodwill that was missing the ears, wires poking out of his head for $7. And if he was in perfect condition, he was $500.
Right.
Ooh.
I just sold him for 75.
Yeah.
And she's just to the point like, okay, I don't, you know, video wise, it's like, okay, I'm going to make fun of you for picking up something ugly and stupid like that, you know? And, you know, even still, like, why would you buy that Mickey Mouse that's missing ears? I'm like, so I can scare the crap out of you. That's what I did. We did a video short.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Exactly. So how much money did you actually make off of all those? How much profit did you actually make off of all those?
I'm $3,700, something like that. Right. So I've tripled my money. Nice. And I still have those comics and like the art sketch stuff that people that, you know, who knows what those are worth yet.
Right.
So
well done. Well done. That's a good story. I like that one. Yeah. And I guess I haven't like an hour, you said an hour and a half away. I guess I haven't like researched places that are far away, but if they had something that was like worthwhile, like what you found, then it'd be worth reaching out to them ahead of time. That's a really good strategy right there. So,
and it just so happened, I looked at Marketplace at the right time and it just popped up and I'm like, oh, wow, look at all of this. This is, and I love Marvel and superhero stuff. So I'm like, this is, you know, fun to do, you know, and flip. So, and that's the good thing is do something that's fun that you like to flip, you know.
For sure. For sure. And speaking of fun, you had a video that I checked out called, I think it was called like Bins Bingo Challenge. Is that, I think I got that name right.
Goodwill Bins Bingo Challenge.
Yeah. So kudos on the creativity there. I love creative thoughts and ideas and all that stuff. And so for those that haven't seen that video, like what's the story behind that?
So probably like 4 months ago, actually 6 months ago, I ran into a guy on Instagram that lives probably an hour away from me, but 10 minutes from the Goodwill Bins that's in Minnesota. And we're talking and he's like, yeah, if you ever come by, let me know. I go here all the time and I just load up on great stuff.
Right.
It's like in the nice, rich area neighborhoods all over and they just dump all their great stuff there. And I watch other people that have YouTube channels and they just, the shirts and dresses that they find, $500-$600 dresses that just get tossed.
Right.
I don't know that kind of stuff. That's not my things, but we have some friends that do like that know. So I met him a few times and we're like, yeah, we should make this fun and do like a challenge of something, you know? And then we talked about it in a video and then nothing happened for 3 or 4 months. And then finally we talked and like, okay, we need to do something. So I found a kid's, you know, wrestling belt, you know, the WWE belt, you know, and I'm like, all right, this is our trophy thing. If you win, you get it. And then we bring it back, you know, we're fighting for the belt.
Yeah. I like
so we did it the first time and I smoked him, but I was also, my wife thinks I was cheating because I was grabbing every Barbie doll or every plastic fruit. That was one of the bingo things, you know, so he couldn't get it. Exactly. I mean, my cart was full of Barbie dolls, and finally, to the point, I'm like, I can't grab every Barbie doll. There's got to be, you know, so many of them in all these rows of bins.
Yeah. Well, hey, if we ever go to the bins together, you can have all the Barbie dolls. I don't want any. Sorry.
Yeah, especially especially the ones that have the hair's been cut on them. You can have all those.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, because that's the one you need to have marked on your on the bingo thing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Barbies except when you need them for bingo. That's all. So,
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Right. So I have some old stuff that I haven't even figured out how do you even figure out what clothing is worth what, I've got 2 or 3 bags full of stuff that I'm like,
right.
You just lay it out there and go, here's an auction. I don't know. So,
okay.
I'm one of those guys that I live in a remote area. I have no Goodwills around me. I have thrift stores, but the closest Goodwill is only about 4 hours away. So Carl has always been challenging me to go to the Goodwill bins and experience it for the first time.
You do need to. I heard you talking with, I think it was either Rachel or Will about it. Yeah, it was like, you haven't done the bins. That is a whole different animal. I mean, when I first went, so the one that's in St. Paul, that one's scary. I mean, I walked in once and I saw a lady running out the door with her hands full of stuff. And as she is getting in the van, the security guy's chasing her because the band pulled right up. Like, it was a heist. Wow. But it was just back from the bins.
A bins heist.
She's giving the finger as she's driving away, hanging out the door and stuff. And I'm like, yep, this is St. Paul because, people, it's like at that one, you have to be fast. I mean, at any bins almost. Like there's a nice pair of shoes in front of me and this lady's looking at me, looking at the shoes, looking at me, and then they say, go. And I looked and the shoes were already gone. She was already moved on. Right. It was that fast. I don't even know how somebody was that fast. But
you guys are not making me want to go to the bins.
I know.
Anytime soon.
You have don't rob a bank. Don't rob a convenience store. You got to go rob the bins. That's the strategy there, apparently.
So I need a hazmat suit. I need to be armed, and I need protection to go to the bins. Yeah,
just
sounds like a great time
for throwing some elbows.
Right.
You need, But
so
you got to be fast. You got to grab things fast.
And just to clarify, so they have like the fresh bins they put out. They say ready, set, go, or whatever. And then you can start grabbing things. But then once those have been picked through, they kind of get put off to the side a little bit, depending upon how, where you go. And that kind of thought process will relate to my next question here, because I just like creativity. And so I thought that the bingo thing was really creative. So I've actually come up with 3 more like bin challenges for you. All right. So my question is which one are you most likely to do? Like, which one are you most likely to make a video about? So I got 3. Okay. All right. A, I'm calling it dive in. You've got to completely submerge yourself in a bin. Like you can't even see you. Like you're just covered in all the gear, and then re-emerge with an item that you have to buy. Hopefully something that's like, good for reselling.
Well, I found dirty underwear the other day, and I definitely wouldn't be grabbing that. But
you probably wouldn't want to swim around with more dirty underwear, but that's why it's a challenge. So that's A.
Yes.
Okay. B is called showdown, where you have to convince somebody that they should give you an item that they've already put in their cart. So not like steal it from them, but actually, negotiate it away from them. Maybe convince them it's really not that valuable. I don't know, whatever your strategy is.
Yeah.
Okay. C is called exclusive access. You've got to convince the manager that you need to get into the back room where they're piling everything into the bins.
Well, I don't think you can get anybody convinced to go into that back room, because I watch people just sit and look through that window. They're going, okay, we're sick of the crap that you have rolled out here. We dug through it so many times, just looking to like give them hints, like, so that wouldn't work.
Well, it's not going to work with that attitude for sure. You've already gotten early access in an estate sale. You've already won that kind of challenge. This is just next level up. Yeah. It's like final boss.
Right. Oh, that's true. I like that, actually. They're all great ideas. Let's see. I've had people go by on their cart, like have these pair of nice shoes, and like they just have handed them to me. I don't have to ask. And some people but then I've had people come up to me and I have one shoe and they have the other, and they're asking me for the shoe. And I'm like, well, why do I have to give you the shoe? You can give me the shoe. But
you're like, I just want that one shoe. So no.
Exactly.
Right. But I do really like the one where you submerge yourself underneath.
Okay.
Because those pile of clothes, there's just mountains of clothes, and you could be
just think of them like blankets. It's like nice and warm in there.
Right.
Oh, I bet
And that
it's
would
nice and
work.
warm in there. Yeah, probably.
But this would work though. You could kill two birds with one stone. You could hide in that thing and they roll you back into the back.
Oh,
now you're back there.
You're a
there's
genius,
the creativity
Joe.
I'm talking about right there.
Right.
See?
You get a blue vest or whatever vest they wear, throw that on, you know?
Yeah.
Act like you know what you're doing. That's all you have to do, and nobody's going to question you.
Yeah, and I'm going to say extra points if you can find some sort of like a snorkel where you can just like be totally underneath and just breathe, so that way you're fine, just kind of hanging out there for a while.
Right.
Just stay away from the sharp stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
No telling what you're going to find in those bins. The bins you were going through, it looked like that they were pretty shallow, though. I don't know. I've seen some really deep rolling bins too.
Oh, really?
I think it depends, right?
It just depends on the store.
Even if they're shallow, you can just add more stuff from other bins that have been set aside to make it
they don't
deeper.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, people throw from one to the other, and people are throwing them back when they first roll them out. I mean, there's no way one item stays in the same bin.
Do all the Goodwills have bins, or is this or is there a specific bin Goodwill that you go to? It's like a warehouse.
So there's 3 locations in Minnesota, and then that just do roll out bins, and I don't know about yours, Carl, but ours, you just line up in a line and they roll a new row, and then you can just start digging. I've heard some where you got to stand back behind a line, they clear out the whole building, put out new ones, and then they say go, and you just
okay. They might. It's been a few years. I haven't been, and it's.
Right.
I went one time, and it was like right at the beginning of my reselling, kind of learning curve. But I think we're just surrounding it. We had to stand back, and then they said go, and I didn't get it. Like I didn't know how intense people were, and so then I found some stuff that was like set off in the corner in like a grocery cart, and I was like, are these just like reject items? So I kind of was looking around, I'm like, is this somebody's cart full of stuff? And so I started touching the stuff, and somebody's like, And so I was like,
you got
sorry,
scolded.
I'm new here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Nice.
So like in St. Paul, you can't leave your cart. That cart has to be with you constantly.
That's probably a new rule then.
Park it wherever you want. The other one. Yeah. So there's certain, like I can record in the good one in Chaska, St. Paul. If I even take out something, they'll be like yelling at you to stop recording.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha. I think I would be, if I had more than a cart full of stuff in one shot, I think that would be overwhelming to me. I'd want to like buy the cart. And then if I wanted more stuff, like if I was low on inventory, just go back inside versus having like multiple carts. Like that's just a lot to manage. So
yeah, there's some that work in teams that just grab as many shoes and then they find a corner and they lay them all out.
Right. Grab and then sort. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's like teams of 5 and it's just like everybody's got a cart and then they just go back and forth.
That's intimidating. Okay.
So are the bins everything that people have donated originally before they hit the shelves, or are they all the stuff that's been on the shelves that Goodwill's getting rid of?
Yes and no. So some they roll out and you're digging through and you just see the tags still on them and you're like, okay, these people. But the tags were $6, $8. Now you're paying maybe $1, $1.50 for the item. So some of this stuff is just straight donated, and some has been sitting in Goodwill for who knows how. I don't know how often they rotate things and stuff like that. But
right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Good information. Well, I'm gonna have to check into those bins, Carl. Maybe I'll make a trip out there and we can go out to Minnesota.
That's right. We'll go to the Minnesota bins. We'll take on Joe. So watch out.
Yeah.
Have Joe
We're
show us
diving in.
around.
We're diving in.
Yes.
All right, Joe. How about can you give us 3 of your top super secret flipping tips?
I was thinking about that question. So there's some people that I know that ask like, how do you just go to a garage sale and know what you're looking for? Go to a Goodwill. And I go, it's just, you just got to go to as many sales and Goodwills as you can. And you find those crazy, weird one-off items that are sitting there. And that's usually the item I want because, you see how many Barbie dolls at every garage sale. You see how many books and whatever. I mean, sure, there's some books that are good. But, you find some, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something that I would have picked, a Santa blow mold. I mean, those things sell really well, or any blow mold. But, it's just some crazy, weird item. I'm like, yep, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab that. I'm going to look it up quick. And 9 times out of 10, I'm probably bringing that thing home. Because it's just some I've seen so many of the regular items over and over again that I already know maybe they're worth grabbing, but then like the crazy, you know, something that you're like, I didn't even know this exists. And really just like, holy cow, that's crazy. So that's one of them.
Okay. So look for the, so the tip is look for the one-off items or the unique items, something that kind of catches your eye. Yeah. And then kind of go from there. Okay.
Seen before when you go to
something new that you haven't seen before. Yeah. I've hit or missed that. Sometimes I'm like, that's gotta be worth something. And it's not.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is some that are. Right.
Yeah. I'm just hit or miss personally. So I don't always have the right eye for them. I'm probably like 50-50. So that's why it's good to have the phone with me.
Right. And I like to find some weird, obscure things to bring home. So then Nicole's like, what the hell is that?
If you're making videos, like that's more interesting to talk about.
Yeah. It's the shock factor, you know, and she doesn't see the stuff beforehand until the video starts. And then it's like, okay. Another thing, when I first started, I thought it was gonna be easy to like, okay, here's a bin, here's a bin, here's a bin. I'm just going to throw items in after I list them. And I didn't mark which bins they were going to be in or mark the bins. And then after a while, you just accumulate so much. You don't realize you do, but you start, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, something sold. I was like, all right, which out of these 8 bins? Mark them in the SKU. And then it's, you know, I mean, there's so many times where I'm just like, okay, I have it marked and then it's not in that bin. And it's like, okay, did I throw it in the wrong one or?
Yeah.
You must be selling, I think you're next level compared to us. Cause if you're selling like, or listing so many things that you're like losing where they are or feeling disorganized, like how many, like right now on eBay, how many listings would you say you have on there?
I'm at about 770.
Live listings.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's like 5 levels above me.
Really? So I was like just below 700 probably a few weeks ago. And I hadn't been listing for like November or December, just, you know, crazy holidays and and whatever, and just things going on. And I really have hit it like the last 14 days of just 10 a day, you know, but then things are selling, right? So
no,
you'd be surprised at how many people, you'd be surprised at how many people I talk to or how many resellers that I talk to that's one of their best tips is like, man, I wish that I just would have started an inventory right off the bat, gotten organized, because I spend hours looking for things. Yeah, it's a great tip. I like that one.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, one more. So you got one more for us?
One more.
What's the best tip that you want to give up on?
How about something that you specific besides the Barbie dolls, something that you specifically look for that maybe we would be surprised by, or that we would, everybody would be maybe surprised it's worth something.
They specialize in.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the action figures do really well, just like the little 6-inch Marvel guys. Some of them, you know, or dig in the free bin. When you go walking up, I found, you know, cassette players or old calculators. It's crazy the stuff I find in the free bin when you get at the end of the driveway and stuff. I found a back brace, this huge white clam back brace that I grabbed. It sold for $70. I sold a cassette player for $50. I sold an old calculator from the 80s for like $70. It's like, check the free bins, because people who wants a stupid calculator and they pitch it, you know, there you go.
Okay. We're going to do a video. Good one. That's a really good one.
We're going to do a video of all the free things that I found that have made money. So eventually we'll get there. So.
Yeah. I do check the free stuff, but I guess I don't always, I mean, like during peak season for me, I'm always trying to sort when I get home. And so if I look something up, I'm like, oh, actually this isn't worth anything. Then I kind of make my donation pile. And so it'd be really easy just to grab if you're, you know, when in doubt, just grab it out of the free bin. And if it's not worth anything, just throw it in your donation pile. Right.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
I want to go through Carl's donation pile because he doesn't hold on to things for very long. And I'm sure he's throwing some money away.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Actually, I sold. Well, I just like, I don't know if you guys ever come across these like junk boxes where it's like miscellaneous cords and like gadgety things, but they're like all dusty and who knows if they work. There's like part of a Bluetooth set or whatever. So I've done pretty well with some of those boxes. And so I think I found a box that had like multiple TV remotes in them. And so I was listening. Nice. I had 3 of them. So I was listening to them today, but one of them was like a Philips remote. And I couldn't find the model number. And so like I clicked in the battery cover, all that stuff. So like that could be valuable. I mean, maybe not like, it could be like a $20 item basically. But if I can't find the model number, I just donate.
Do you try Google Lens to see if that could figure it out?
Is that a fourth tip right there? No. Google Lens.
Google Lens?
So it's just you take a picture of the app and it figures out exactly what model number it is.
So you go into the Google app and there's a little up on the top right side is a little camera. You touch that and you take a picture of it and then boom, it just Google Lens is fantastic. And I didn't even know what that was for a good year and a half doing this until I heard people talking about it. I'm like, oh, I should check this out.
That's new to me. And we have a podcast.
And like it'll like show, listings on eBay or on Etsy or Mercari. And then you have your title right there that you can copy and paste and put it into eBay and then really figure out how many are listed, how many are sold, what the prices are. Yeah. Google Lens is...
That's a good one. I like that.
I knew about Google Lens, and you can also on the Google homepage, you can click the camera icon or Google. You might be able to type Google Lens into it. Yeah. Then you just drag whatever picture you have into the internet browser. And
I've seen people do that, and I didn't know that's how you could do it. So now you just helped me out on that one.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
And honestly, I don't know how it is for you guys. Honestly, I usually find the model number. I can usually figure out what the item is. It's pretty rare where, and part of it too is like, I know it's like, $10 to $20 items. So I'm not, how much effort do you want to put into it? So that's part of it too. But anyway,
he's an old experienced hand. He knows what things are worth. He can just look at them.
Me? No.
Yeah. You.
I'm not Mr. 700 live listings. So I'm not that experienced apparently.
I don't think you have enough
listings do you have, Carl?
So, I just don't have a big inventory. So I kind of I haven't figured out where to source things over the course of the wintertime. Whereas, I
was going to ask you what you do out there.
Yeah. So I'm mainly garage sales, estate sales. We used to have a local auction where I could actually get quite a bit of stuff, but then that moved to Kansas. And so it's just mainly garage sales and estate sales. And every once in a while I'll have like local connections where I can find some stuff or pull stuff off of some folks that are trying to get rid of things. But for the most part, I load up in the summertime, and then I'm like 10 items a week, and just portion them out in bite-sized chunks so that it's like, so I'm typically sold out by like mid to late February. So I'm almost done right now. That's kind of my thing. Wow. But it's a side hustle. It's not my main gig. It's a side hustle, and it's it's working.
Yeah, that's what I am. It's like, garage sale season's April, if I'm lucky, April until October.
Right.
And then the good months is June, July, and August.
Right.
And it's just like, I'm a squirrel gathering nuts. I'm just gathering as much as I can to get me through the winter. And I've got a whole storage unit plus a garage full. So Nicole's like, you need to get stuff listed.
Well, if you're doing it though. I mean, it sounds like
I am now, but I didn't back in November, December. So
I've
got 3 months and I got to get through some of this stuff.
No, I feel overwhelmed. If I'm not doing it consistently, whatever the amount is, I feel overwhelmed. And I try to sell typically I'll sell even during the gathering season, I guess if you call it, like I'm trying to sell the big stuff first, the stuff that's like in the garage, taking space first, and then the time sensitive stuff. And then I don't know, that's kind of my strategy, but.
So would it make you guys jealous to know that I just went to 3 yard sales last weekend out here in California?
Yes. It's killing me that it was negative 15 last night and it was about 5 degrees today. So it's going to be a long time before this.
Not good garage sale weather.
It was 38 degrees this morning. So we were pretty cold.
Oh, that's t-shirt weather. What are you talking about?
I was freezing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I definitely am lucky that I have garage sales pretty much year round. So I get to go out and list, and it's pretty amazing some of the stuff that I could still find.
Did you find anything good?
Yeah, I like buying I found some brand new candles that I'm gonna get on listed. Some
candles.
Easter candles.
Yeah. Are candles valuable?
Well, the thing, I bought some the other day for $1. I bought 3 of them, and I ended up selling them for $39.
Okay, so, I would not guess candles be valuable.
Is there a certain brand that is
Yankee Candle?
Yeah, right.
These were, I looked them up with the eBay app as I was when I saw them, and it was like an Essex candle, I think it was. But anything that's brand new, I always look it up right away, and especially if it's only $1. My philosophy right now is, since I'm just starting out as reselling, I just shotgun everything that I can right now, and I'm going to grab as much as I want and see what sticks.
Right. Nice, man.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, Joe. So one thing that we like to talk about here on the show, we love to hear stories about is crazy interactions that you've had with people. So you got any stories, probably either at the bin or at a garage sale or an estate sale that you can share with us?
Well, there was a good one in my area where I deliver pizzas. I saw a sign for a garage sale or a estate sale, and I told Nicole, I'm like, we need to go there tomorrow morning. So we get there, and we get to this, and we both walk in, and it was a hoarder house. It was just horrible. Yeah. Nothing's priced. It's like, if you want dig, go right ahead. And I'm like, Nicole's like, yep, I'm out. I'm gonna go stand outside and wait.
Wait, was it like, there's like different types of hoarder houses. There's people that just have a lot of stuff and there might be some valuable things in there. And there's people that save like pizza boxes and.
Okay, it wasn't the pizza boxes bad.
Okay,
good. But it was also just.
It wasn't gross. It was just full.
It was, yeah, it was still, it was gross. But she was outside, and all of a sudden I looked out, and here there's just cops. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then finally, she can't find me because I'm way in the cellar and stuff, digging through stuff. And then finally I come up front. And like, yeah, apparently some lady just before we pulled up just flew into the driveway, almost hit somebody, got out of her car, knocked over a kid, grabbed an item, grabbed another item from a lady out of her hands, and insisted that she was going to pay for this stuff. And the lady refused to sell it to her. She got all mad, got back in her car, drove away, and they called the cops.
Oh my goodness!
And I told Nicole, I'm like, and you didn't record or take pictures of any of this because this is good. This is good footage. Stuff. This is
yeah.
Right. She's like, I was just in shock of what the hell's going on. Like,
yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so the takeaway from that story and from a previous story is, if you want to go to the most aggressive state in the union, where people are doing hit and runs at the bins and they're assaulting people at estate sales, like Minnesota is the place to be.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's other states and other garage sales. I'm sure Mike's going to.
I'm just giving you a hard time on Minnesota.
I don't know. I mean, we're supposed to be Minnesota nice, so
I know. Everybody that I've met from Minnesota is super friendly, but apparently it's like the reselling capital where people are. There's like take no prisoners. So. Right. Yeah.
You can find bad characters wherever you go. We know plenty of nice Minnesotans out there.
Oh yeah. That's a crazy story right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Stay out of the driveways at estate sales. That's the big tip.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yep. So, okay. So last thing we got for you, this is kind of your opportunity. Like, you have the microphone, the floor is yours, whatever you want to call it. Where can we find you on YouTube, social media? And then you also said you had something special that you were going to announce. So whatever you want to share about how people can find you, follow you, and see all these crazy stories and, the bins, bingo, all that stuff.
So our YouTube is I'd Flip That. Pretty simple.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's tough to do. You can't put a space in between letters. So it's like ID_flip_that.
Right.
So that's a way to find us there. And then we have I'd Flip That on Facebook, and it's the same for our eBay store as well. So we don't do TikTok, which I'm like, I don't know why we don't, but I work evenings. Nicole works during the day. So the time for the two of us to get together and make videos and stuff like that is tough to do. So, but that's a lot. So, so our thing that we are, I don't know, when she gets these crazy ideas, I just say, how high do you want me to jump? What do you want me to wear? What do you want me to crash into, or whatever video. So she's like, all right, I'm thinking of this good idea. Let's do a game show for resellers, because nobody does that. We just do interviews like we're doing now, and we talk about stuff, and we'll just do it live, bring on 2 reseller contestants, make them, pretend like you're playing Family Feud or playing Price is Right or Jeopardy. So we got this big banner that looks like the background. I'm looking at it right now over here on a wall of The Price is Right. And then, like I said, we're going to do different games for different people and stuff like that, and then declare a winner. And I have a crazy suit. If you see the videos when we were in Vegas or whatever, I found this crazy suit that I thrifted in my hometown Goodwill. I couldn't believe how awesome it is. But So yeah, we're going to give that a try and see if it takes off. And if it does, we'll keep inviting people. Maybe we can have the two of you guys fight it out.
I would do it. I want to be. I'm in on the game show. I'm in.
Yep.
Nice.
So, that's a great idea.
That's so awesome.
And it's just something different that we're like, okay, you know, we need the hours watched. If this thing really takes off, you know, we can get our hours. We're almost at our 1,000. So it's like, let's try this, you know. It's cost us a little money to get some of this stuff put together and a lot of time to make, like, you know, the little square, you know, letters for the Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, we need to figure out how to maybe make it like a TV screen somehow or whatever. But you know what? We got to start small. So
no. But if you've already put the time and some money into it, you got to do it. You got to do a few of these to see if it takes, right?
Exactly.
That's a great idea too.
Yeah.
So we haven't even this is going to be, you know, we recorded this a few weeks ago, but we haven't even announced the thing. We're going to do that, you know, the beginning of February, and then a few days later, kind of do a shadow of the two people and just kind of give little clues and build up the excitement to do that or whatever. So,
wow. Well,
we did that. We did some funny thing just before Christmas with the Grinch, where I found a Grinch outfit. So I'm running around pretending to steal stuff out of people's homes.
I saw
and
that.
Then,
again, more theft in Minnesota. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Exactly, right? Yes. So I mean, we have a video that she recorded of me walking out with all these video games, and I kick over a tree, you know, and then she does another video we release a few days later. We're like, oh, hey, we found this marketplace ad, which my daughter is just creative as can be and makes a whole fake marketplace of our stuff, of the Grinch, I mean, selling video games for dirt cheap. And she's like, Joe's got to work, so I got to go to this dark parking lot at Walmart to pick up video games from this weirdo, you know. So then, you know, we reenact. I pull up and she's grabbing the video games and throws the money, and I'm yelling at her like the Grinch, you know, and I just drive away and she doesn't get all that stuff. You know, we're making it fun. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah. Kudos to the creativity with all that stuff. I think that, I would predict that you keep on, you know, letting your creative juices flow. Your channel's going to take off. You're going to, you know, kill it with subscribers and views and all that stuff. And let us know when it's out. We'll post, you know, when the first video is up on our social media.
Oh, yeah.
We'll also have, go ahead.
I might as well say it's going to be February 23rd.
Okay.
It's
a couple weeks.
Thursday night, 8 Central is when we're going to do our live game show. Yeah. So
that's great, man.
Okay.
Mark the calendar.
And we'll have a link to all that stuff that you talked about in our show description, like your YouTube channel and the socials and all that stuff. So
sure.
We got you covered.
Perfect. Awesome. Sounds exciting. Can't wait to see it. We'll definitely help you out with that. And when you want us to come out to Minnesota and be on the game show, just let us know.
Or play Goodwill Bins, Mike. We got to get you at a Goodwill Bins.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's right.
We got to see if you can talk the manager into going to the back room, or else we hide you underneath the stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I'm not getting that stuff. There's no way you're getting me in the bins.
We'll wrap you in a bag or something.
Yeah.
Like there's something, you know,
seal a plastic bag up. What could possibly go wrong?
Yes. Right.
God, exactly. Gross. Just thinking about it. All right. Reactions times.
That's right. Can you believe just how much crime there is in Minnesota? That was shocking. Shocking.
The crime is that you want me to go into these Goodwill bins, man. What's the deal here, man?
You're the one that's asking about it. I didn't ask you to go. And you're like, I need to go. Carl keeps on wanting me to go. No, this is you. It's like you want me to invite you to come. This is like this like passive aggressive way of like trying to get to go without feeling like you initiated it.
Man, I walk into the Goodwill store and I can't help but feel just creeped out. And then I look over at the shoe section and it's like, man, I can see like the Linus steam coming off.
I know. You're a clean person, so you grossed out. But let's talk about the crime thing. So I was just joking about that because he had two stories that like were about people are trying to steal stuff from, you know, like a Goodwill or an estate sale. And so I was joking, but I don't know if I offended him or not, but I was just joking. I just want to clear the air there. I know that there's crime in every state. I get it. Yeah. It's just those are funny stories that happen to connect. So sorry.
I don't think he was. And Joe doesn't know us very well, but I think the more that he says he's gonna listen to our episodes, the more they listen to our episodes, he's gonna realize that we're kind of tongue in cheek with some of the stuff.
For
I don't
sure.
think he'd take offense to it.
For sure. He's a nice guy, and everybody that I know from Minnesota is also very friendly, fun to be around. So anyway,
we've got a couple of friends from Minnesota, so
okay,
real nice people.
For
something that I'm a little worried about when he was talking about his big announcement, and then you started bringing up that you were going to start that you and that cut that out. Cut it out.
That was great right there. Wait, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Start that over.
What I was a little bit worried about with this big announcement that he was talking about his game show, which I think is a fabulous idea. He's really creative.
Oh yeah.
But then you started talking about that you're going to do a game show too, and I'm like, no, he's going to think that you listened to this, stole his idea, and now you're doing it over on another channel.
Are you talking about the conversation we had not during the interview about the game show from the other podcast? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that was part of his announcement, wasn't it?
He announced the game show after we were done recording. I said, by the way, I've done that too.
Oh, I see.
Did you not catch that?
I didn't know if it was part after we stopped and said cut.
Right. Sorry.
Sorry for our listeners, man. I'm just all over the place.
No. Just cut it. Just cut that. We'll cut that because we just had to cut the previous part anyway. Just jump back in.
Cut that.
Yeah.
All right. Should I talk about the game show? Oh yeah, I will. So part of that, cut that out too. So I was really interested though when he was talking about that big announcement that they had coming up. Man, what do you think about the game show idea that they had? Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I for sure want to be on the game show if we're invited. I don't want to invite myself, of course, but honestly, when he's like, "We got a big announcement," I was like, "They're gonna announce, or he's gonna announce that they've got a podcast coming out, and then they're."
I thought it was podcast too.
Yeah, but no, the game show idea is really cool and creative, and just from talking to him, that for that little bit, I could tell he's a very creative guy. So I bet it's gonna do well, and I want to watch it. So that's that's where I'm at. So
me too. So would you fly out there to be on the game show, or would you do it in remotely? Or
we didn't. I just assumed it was remote. You think that it's going to be like an in-person kind of deal?
I think it might be because he said he's got that big banner that he put up and invested in and all that stuff.
I thought that'd be like the backdrop for something, but
we might have to take a trip out to Minnesota, buddy.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If he flies us out there, sure, I'll go.
If he flies us out there, perfect. Yeah. With all of his DC profits.
Yeah, man, just put those profits towards our plane tickets.
Exactly. Right? We'll be out there.
That's right. Yeah. I go to Minnesota for sure, 100%. In fact, I want to go backpacking there, but I definitely don't want to go there during the wintertime. That's not my. Yeah, it's a tough winter.
What do you say, -12 or something like that, man?
But it's like different cold though, because it's humid, and so it's like penetrating to the bone kind of cold. It's not like a dry Colorado cold. So
is that like a dry heat? It's not too hot because it's a dry heat.
Sort of.
You guys are crazy. I don't even know what to say. All I know is it was about 56 degrees in California today, so it was nice and warm.
Right. All right. Well, any other takeaways from Joe there?
Just that you need to learn your programs and all the other different tips on how to look up stuff. You didn't know about Google Lens. That floors me. No,
and you're right. I totally should. But with that, it's like I don't. Like I mentioned, it's very rare for me not to know an item, and typically, if I'm willing to throw it in the donation pile, it's probably not worth anything anyway. Yeah, it's very rare for me to be like, this feels valuable, but I'll just donate it. Like that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And that's unfair for me to say because I'm a new reseller and I'm looking stuff up constantly and I'm looking for all these other ideas. But
I
wonder what other kind of tips are out there that we're not utilizing.
Oh, there's got to be more. But this is what's great about the show is we keep on learning from each person, right? So
yeah, we do.
He had that tip. He had, take advantage of the free boxes at the edge of the driveways, which I thought I did, but based on what he was saying, not enough. I just got to grab more stuff.
Yeah, I do too. It's odd the stuff that will sell. Like he was talking about a back brace. I know those
cassette player.
Yeah, those health things do sell pretty good. Crutches, walkers,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But
Right.
interesting. Great interview.
Yeah. We appreciate Joey coming on. Like we mentioned, we'll have all those links in our show description, so you can check them out and check out the Bins Bingo. See what's going on with that.
Bingo challenge.
That's right. All right, fellow pickers, go find your own treasures one story at a time.
And remember, it's not reselling if you haven't gone to the Goodwill bins.